What is up, my ninjas? Shinobi here with the Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls video. Wow, they're actually putting out some information about the upcoming patch 2.3.0, and yeah, this just went up. I haven't even read through it yet, so I thought, hey, why don't we go through and read it together? If you like this kind of format, let me know in the comments down below. It's a little bit longer of a video. We go through and read it together, but you get to see my reactions to things freshly, newly, haven't even gone through it yet. And but I also do the other types of videos where I kind of break down things, pre-read it, and just make it a shorter type video. Let me know which one you prefer, or if you don't really mind, you like it either way. So right here, this is the patch, and I want to state two things right off the bat. Yeah, I know my hair is getting a little long. If it was golden yellow, I'd probably be close to Super Saiyan by now. And then I know it's also pretty funny that the way that I have my setup right now, the light is coming in behind me, and it's like the Diablo 3 posters are like, patch update. It's kind of what it feels like right now. And the funny thing is, I was actually thinking this morning, because I haven't played Diablo in a little while, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll play some Diablo on stream today. I haven't played on EU in a while. Maybe I'll jump on and mess around and have fun with the ninjas on stream. And then boom, this update comes up, and it's like, I guess it was meant to be, huh? Anyways, so let's go ahead and run through. I can already see a couple things that are kind of sparking my interest right off the bat, but let's go through and read it all. Now, keep in mind, I'm not the best reader in the world, and yeah, but let's go through. So yeah, patch 2.3.0. Public test round for patch 2.3 is right around the corner. Soon, TM. Are you ready for you to feast your eyes on this? Blah, 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 table comments. We're not going to go cheat yet. We want to be surprised, okay? Alright, so as always, please note that this is only a preview. The below information does not reflect all changes available in patch 2.3 and is subject to change. A lot of times when they do this kind of stuff, they will tell us some things, but they'll keep some things secret, like some small things here and there, some balancing changes, some things. Sometimes we've seen some really exciting stuff come out that they didn't even tell us a preview about. So there may be more than just this. So I'm definitely interested right off the bat. So here we go. New zone, Runes of Sescheron. Now, I talked about this in the BlizzCon 2014 video video that I made, and this is something that was talked about that they were going to be doing for quite a while now. We've kind of been sitting around going, where is this? We've been waiting for this, right? And I guess patch 2.3 is the time to do it. So in patch 2.3, the frozen wasteland, that is the ruins of Sescheron, will open for exploration. Here you'll face off against strange new enemies and perilous environmental hazards, all while unearthing new mysteries from the lore of the mighty barbarians. Those brave enough to make it through in one piece will discover curious new points of interest, including the lost tomb of Kanai and his ultimate treasure, Kanai's cube. So very interesting right off the bat. Now, they talked about a little bit of this, like I said, at BlizzCon, and we already saw the Rat King come out, and we're thinking, okay, we thought those things were going to come hand in hand because they talked about both of them at the same time at BlizzCon. So, the fact that maybe they had some things they had to work out and they couldn't quite make it come out just yet, but let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of a preview here. I do like the kind of darky, gloomy look of it. It's an interesting little change. And then you can see right here, I have this that I need to just maybe move over a bit so you can see it a little bit better so I can get some of these pictures in here. Okay, and then we have another picture. All right, nice. Okay, well, getting new zones, not a bad thing. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's quite good, so I like that. All right, so let's go down. So we're going to have that coming soon. New artifact for Kanai's cubes. This is what they were talking about up here. Those who played Diablo 2 might remember the Herodric cube. I do indeed. A unique device which allowed you to combine items. Useful as it was easily surpassed in power by the item from which it oriented, Kanai's cube. In patch 2.3, players will be able to discover this powerful ancient relic and utilize its incredible potential, including the ability to break down legendary items, and equip their special effects as passive skills. Whoa! Holy crap, so we can essentially disenchant or break down a legendary item, and then we can use that special property that comes on it, and it'll be a passive for your character. wow, if characters are strong right now, they're just going to be like Super Saiyan 4 strong. Like, I mean, insane. What the hell? Okay, so there's definitely going to be some balance changes that are going to have to be made. The numbers, we're going to be seeing like 100 billion crits and stuff like that. It's going to get insane. I mean, you're going to be able to essentially use what, every item in the game. There's got to be some kind of limitation to it or something. I guess they'll go more in depth about it. Giving us another option. We were in Reaper Souls, we were introduced to the Mystic and things like that. So we'll see, how this plays out. It's very basic information right now, but I mean, including the ability to break down the legendary items and equip their special effects as passive skills. So, like I said, there's got to be some kind of limitations on that. You can't just be like, well, I have the ability of strong arm. I have strong arm bracers. I have the ability of using, furnace when I'm not using a furnace or something. Like, what? That's crazy. I mean, if you think about it too, if there isn't some kind of limitation to this, which I'm sure there's going to be, it's essentially going to be everybody's equal. Everybody's the same stats. Everything's so there's going to have to be some kind of limitations for sure. Like, you can only use like 3 extra passives from it, or 2 of the ones that you choose. And that's kind of interesting. It gives you a little bit more customization on what you can do. But hopefully they do take that as the building ground and kind of go a little bit farther with it. And we see more kind of customization in the future, because I'm seeing a lot of games right now. I've been playing a lot of different action RPGs like Van Helsing 3, Grim Dawn, Marvel Heroes, and there's a lot of customization you can do in those games. They're not near as the production quality of something like Diablo, so hopefully this is the first step to adding some more customization to the game. Crafting system updates. Okay, for those who eagerly gather crafting materials on their journey to level 70, we've got good news you'll especially enjoy. Starting in patch 2.3, oh, can you guys even see that? There we go. Starting in patch 2.3, the same crafting materials you see at max level will be available as you level up. Okay, we've also crushed down the number of crafting recipes, making the process easier and more fluid than ever as a result. Now dynamically adjust to your character's level, whether you're bashing skulls on the highest difficulty or you're just starting your career and killed your very first champion or elite pack, your crafting materials will never go to waste. Well, that's part of the problem. I mean, this is something that I've talked about in the past, is that, you don't get enough arcane dust in the game, and it's, it's kind of a pain in the butt to have to, keep going through this arcane dust struggle. Essentially, you don't get Death's Breath dropping off of Greater Rift Guardians, which, essentially, if some people just want to do Greater Rifts all the time, you're kind of forced into going to T6 and doing some of that. And so hopefully this is going to kind of they're probably going to hopefully balance some of that stuff, and fix crafting in general, because crafting has definitely been lacking, that's for sure. Now obviously it looks like they are getting rid of like the starting crafting materials, like the old ones, like the ones that you never use pretty much while you're leveling up, and then when you get to the cap level you just sell them to the vendor or whatever, because you don't need them anymore. So but then again, the leveling experience from 1 to 70 usually just get power levels, so how is this going to entice me to want to level from 1 to 70 the way that was originally implemented? Maybe this will be good like in the very beginning of a season, right, when you first start out the season, but and obviously this is probably going to come out right before the beginning of the season anyway, so it's probably intended for that. But what are you going to do about crafting materials in the future? That's what I want to know. Once you get to 70, how are you going to make that better for the player? Alright, so we have the next thing here, and that is Adventure Mode updates. This patch also includes changes designed to improve the pacing of Adventure Mode while encouraging players to explore bounties across a variety of acts. In addition to removing the Realm of Trials, woo, finally! We knew that was going to happen, but still, it's nice to hear again. We're improving bounty rewards by adding new act-specific crafting materials to Herodic caches. Completing bonus acts in adventure mode will also now grant a bonus Haragic Cash, okay, so that makes sense. You know, you never really got a bonus for that before, so that is definitely good that they do that. You know, I'm really curious to know, hopefully there's something in here about Realm of Trials and how they're going to balance that and how we're going to actually get keys or how it's going to work. Maybe it's going to be something implemented into adventure mode, like the bounties and stuff like that, because they really are pushing this here. And with this new zone, we're probably going to have new bounties in that area as well, so you know, that's probably something that looks like they're kind of going in that direction, in my opinion. But yeah, so you know, I mean, axe-specific crafting materials. You know, they're trying to make crafting better, obviously, but you know, if you're gonna make it, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it all the way. You got to make it good to the point where it's on par with you know, the current top tier gear that we have, or maybe slightly less or something like that. You know, some of these changes here look like they're more aimed towards somebody that's just getting into the game or starting a brand new season. What happens after that? What happens 2 weeks in, right? So I don't know. So let's keep going though. Let's keep going. So new feature, season journey. Every player's seasonal journey is different, and so are their accomplishments. Starting in Season 4, you'll be able to track your individual progress through the Season Journey interface. This helpful feature is divided into chapters, which include major milestones that are achievable by most players, and tiers which are designed to advanced players. Completing tiers unlocks new portrait frame rewards, and highest tier includes challenges which will take effort to achieve for even the most powerful Nephilim. Now, this is something that I've been talking about since the beginning of Greater Rifts. Even before Greater Rifts came out, I said there needs to be more reward for people to get higher in the tiers. This is something that just needs to be done. You know, you need to feel more rewarded than just having your number a little bit higher on some leaderboard thing that, you know, probably a good majority of the people that play the game don't even care about to begin with. And as Blizzard has stated themselves, most people care about their own progression. So this is a good thing for the majority of people that play Diablo 3, and it's also a good thing for people that, you know, they take it a little bit more seriously, and, you know, they can get some additional rewards by being higher up. You know, you know, just think of this scenario where somebody comes into your game and they have this badass, you know, frame or something like that, this badass thing, and you're like, wow, that guy, he must have last season like got to like, you know, rank 1 or top 10 or top 100 or something. That guy's awesome, you know. It's something to sport your achievements, and I really like to see them do more into this. But it's very basic information that they're telling us right now. But yeah, so hopefully it turns out to be really awesome. Then we have new difficulty levels, 7 through 10. This is what I've been saying forever. In fact, I actually emailed Blizzard a couple of my ideas a long time ago, talking about putting it from 7 through 10 and making it more of a progression, so that like you'd have to get certain gear in 7 to even progress to 8, or get certain gear in 8 only to progress to 9, so that it's like it's more of a progression than like, oh, you go 7 and oh, I got a couple pieces of gear, now I'm on 10, you know. It's a huge skip ahead. So let's see what they actually decide to do with that. Hopefully they go a little bit more in depth. As players continue to discover powerful new gear, the current hardest difficulty level, Torment 6, can begin to feel less challenging. To help keep hardened battle veterans on their toes, we're adding 4 new torment levels, which appropriate new reward with appropriate reward rates, including Torment 10. We'll be iterating on these new difficulties and rewards as PTR progresses, so we can look forward to hearing your feedback. So really, we don't know very much about it. All they're pretty much saying is 7 through 10, you got it, you know? So, you know, maybe they went with the idea that I sent in. I don't know. I mean, they can't tell me that kind of stuff, but I definitely did, like a while ago. Like, soon as Torment 6 started to, like, get, like, easy, I was like, okay, we need 7 through 10, and this is how I would want to do it. I want to, like, you know, go into Torment 6, and then, you know, certain gear drops that has a little bit higher stats than the previous gear that you're not used to getting on the lower difficulties, and then when you get to 7, you get those same pieces of gear, but their stats go a little bit higher, so that we are able to do the next Torment level. And it's like a progression. Instead of skipping from 7 to 10, like I said, you're going to progress 7, 8, 9, 10, and it'll feel more of an achievement. So, you know, let's see what happens with it, but that's my thought on what they should do with it, and who knows if they're going to do something like that. new legendary and set items, which is what they usually always do for this kind of stuff. For all you dedicated loot hunters, we're also adding a lot of shiny new legendary and set effects to the game. Aside from doing this through introducing new items, we're also revamping special effects on some existing ones like they've been doing over and over again, and granting new effects to some items which don't currently have one, which they've been doing over and over again. They've already stipulated that they want to eventually get through all the items that don't currently have a special property on it and add one on it. So that's something we've known for a while. As in other patches, changes to legendary items are not retroactive, and so you'll need to find them once you, so you need to find them. It's not like the set pieces when they were retroactive, is because that was a big change, and that's why they decided to go with that, to make it easier on players and be able to try out that gear quicker. And probably also for balancing reasons. So combat changes. Several changes to monsters are coming to the game as well, along with reducing the amount of crowd control the game's tougher monsters will tolerate. We've adjusted the experience and rift progress granted by killing monsters, so they will better reflect the effort required to kill them. For example, monsters that take more time or effort to kill now provide more experience, and those that are especially easy to kill will provide less. So maybe this is like a nice change to how group play is, right? When you have group play, and this is something I talked about in a previous video, talking about how it's just so easy with group play. Just go in, smash everything, kill it really easily, and get a bunch of XP. They're way higher in Paragon level because you get strength in numbers, because it's a lot easier to play in a 4-person group. So maybe this is going to be some kind of balancing towards that. I never really thought about going with this idea in my original video for that, but this could be something that would affect that, where you're like, if you have one player that takes 3 seconds to kill a certain monster, but you have 4 players that take 1 second to kill a certain monster, they're going to get what, 1/3 of the XP? I kind of like that. That's cool. I mean, it rewards people that play solo and have to take on the extra challenge of playing solo than players that literally just play in 4-person groups. I don't know. There might be some kind of exploitable thing you'll be able to do with this, so hopefully not, but, it's something that's interesting nonetheless. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of this and learning a little bit more of it, but yeah, so that's it. Prepare yourself. New zone, new cube, new items, new difficulty levels, new adventure mode changes. The list goes on and on. We hope you look forward to blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so generally, what do I think about this? I think it's obviously more is better, right? Giving us something that we didn't have before is good. I see that they're trying to make some balancing changes. Getting rid of the greater rift trials is something we knew was going to happen already. The crafting system getting some alterization is pretty good. I really, really, really dig the new season journey thing, and I really want to see where that goes. I think that's probably the highlight of this entire thing, because now it feels better to get top 50 or top 25 or top get 1 or something like that. It feels better, and then obviously I'd really like to see where this goes as well. It'd just be cool. It's something I've been saying for a long time, and hopefully we get that fixed. A lot of you guys have been saying that as well. So out of this, did you guys enjoy the preview patch? Did you what do you think is your favorite part of this, if you have one? And I'd be really anxious to read the comments and see stuff about that. So hopefully we see this stuff soon. Usually the way that Blizzard does this kind of stuff, and they do a patch preview, today is Tuesday, so most likely next Tuesday is when we'll see this come out. They wouldn't put a patch preview up and then just let it sit there for like a month before putting out the PTR. So most likely, in my opinion, we'll see this hit next Tuesday, and I'll be definitely trying that out on the PTR, because I want to see what it's like to try a bunch of these different things out. And I definitely want to play around with the Kanai Cube. That might be my favorite thing as well. I don't know, it's tough. Like Kanai Cube or the season journey. I mean, both of them are pretty sick. So, but that's it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more. Good news is good news, and that's what I'm thinking about it. Could they do more? Sure, they could do more, but like I talked about in my previous video about expansions and everything like that. We may be seeing an expansion in the future, so we take what we can get right now. Usually, the 6 to 8 months before an expansion is talked about, and the news is out to people. Usually, there's very slow amount of content that is put out, but it's really good to see that Blizzard is actually still putting out stuff. Or maybe this could mean we're not going to see an expansion. I don't know. Guess we'll find out in the future. That is it for today, guys. My name is Shinobi, and until next time, thanks for watching.